Tanzania and Kenya are dealing with the aftermath of a major cyclone. The storm brought heavy rain and high winds, adding to the weeks of deadly floods throughout the region. Authorities say at least 155 people in Tanzania and East Africa have died in weather-related incidents in recent weeks, and Tanzanian weather officials expect the rain to last through May. This all due to El Nino weather patterns. I want to bring in Anne Soy. She's a senior Africa correspondent for our partners at the BBC for more. And thank you so much for joining us. What can you tell us about the conditions on the ground right now?
They have been devastating. I have never seen floods like these in my lifetime. I am Kenyan. I have grown up here. And that is really the story that you hear from everyone who has been affected. There are people who have lived in their homes for a long time, and this is the first time they are being affected by floods. About a week ago, we had the worst tragedy yet in this season, where water that had been trapped uphill just swept through downhill towards a village, washing everything on its path, catching people unawares because it was 3 in the morning. They were asleep with their families, and at least 50 people died in that tragedy just about an hour's drive west of Nairobi. So it has been devastating, not just here in Kenya, but across the region. We're talking about 10 countries affected in the eastern African region, including Burundi, where people have even had to take out canoes to navigate streets that have been inundated with water. City streets have been turned into rivers, and we're told that this points to the effect of climate change. Not too long ago, we had 5 or 6 subsequent seasons of failed rains, and the drought was devastating. And just when we got the rains, it brings more destruction and death. And that is really the biggest worry. And we are being warned that things like these will occur more frequently.
That is absolutely what scientists have found. And thank you for reminding us, because truly it's not just in Africa. In southern Brazil, there have been many deaths, too, from flooding. And we're seeing the impacts right here in the United States. We were just talking to a colleague in Texas, and that is the consequence of climate change. Talk to us about what the government is doing to respond to the needs over there.
The government here in Kenya was criticized for being too slow to act because schools were due to open, and it was only until the last minute, the midnight, before schools reopened. And just for context, here in Kenya, the vast majority of secondary schools are boarding schools, and so you would have children traveling across the country to report to school for the second term of the year. And it is only at midnight, before these schools opened, that the government postponed the reopening of schools, and parents were furious, and they said, government should have been more proactive. They should have been listening to the weather forecasts and making plans ahead of time. And we also saw the reaction from the government. It was very slow. People were losing their lives. There were no advisories, and so it has been under a lot of criticism. However, now they have mobilized different agencies to respond to the disaster. We have seen the different security agencies now using their aircrafts to airlift people who have been marooned in different parts of the country and take them to safety. So right now there's a concerted effort to try and alleviate the suffering that people have gone through over the past week or so.
This is moments like this when the international community also comes together, and hopefully that will happen. Anne Soy with our partners at the BBC, thank you so much for that report.